Hello and welcome to InsurgenSeas podcast. I'm Nikolas Kosmatopoulos. I'm an associate professor of politics and anthropology at the American University of Beirut. I'm also a member of the Critical Ecologies Lab in the Mediterranean East and a host of this podcast. The podcast floats you around the world from a global seas and global South Seas perspective and standpoint. We explore rising and insurgent communities that live through, by, and from the sea, communities of survival and solidarity, mobility and memory, resilience and resistance. Our aim is to approach the oceans from a global South perspective. The idea is to push back against the image of the ocean as the Wild West or as an unlawful space, as a lawless space. There's a lot of that out there. We would like to approach the oceans through a new lens, through a new perspective, a perspective that includes the global South standpoints, the communities of the sea, the communities that actually live off the sea, the communities that are crossing the sea for political, for livelihood reasons, communities also that reclaim the sea for their livelihoods, communities also that look at the sea and explore the sea as a space for redistribution and more fair economies. One of the main ideas behind this podcast is to de-orientalize the sea, to decolonize the sea, to look at the sea from the point of view of its people, especially in an economy, in an ecology, in a global economy, in a global ecology that very much resembles the old colonial forms of unequal exchange and appropriation and extension of forces and powers into the big blue. The idea is to invite scholars, activists, experts, and community representatives to talk to us about how the seas emerge, rise indeed, but they rise politically. They rise with a new sense of belonging, and they also invite us all to look at the big blue with a different eye. An eye that allows for the new appropriation of the oceans ahead of us, next to us, that is mainly driven by imaginaries of blue growth, imaginaries of investment, imaginaries of strategic antagonism or big power antagonisms, to go beyond that, to challenge this idea and look at how communities have actually been negotiating, resisting, surviving this new trend to appropriate the oceans anew. The idea that we have in this podcast is to bring these perspectives from the global South. The perspectives from the global South are usually silenced or overshadowed by imaginaries or representations of the ocean that describe it as a space of lawlessness, as a space of Wild West, as a space of illegality, which of course it is all that too, but it's not only that. The ocean has been also a space of political mobilization, a space of political action by communities, for communities, and through communities that need to be also given voice and their perspectives. The idea, again, is to introduce as many perspectives as we can, based in Beirut, in a global South standpoint. We're going to be looking in the sea as a space for solidarity, for example. We're going to be starting with a series of interviews with experts and scholars mainly who are working on the question of solidarity and are looking at the sea, exploring the sea as a space for politics from below. We're going to move further, we're going to navigate this space by looking at other sites, maritime sites, the sea as a space for mobility, the sea as a space for memory, the sea as a space for ecology, and the sea as a space for epistemology. All of that from the point of view of communities that have been using, living, imagining the sea in their own special and historical ways. We hope to have a vehicle, to create a vehicle through which you're going to be introduced to emerging ideas and emerging research about the sea, but also emerging movements around the sea. And this is what we plan to do throughout the series of podcast episodes, bringing scholars and community members from around the world with a special focus on the Global South and the Arab region. Thank you. Looking forward to have you on board.